Okay, so let's take inventory on what this man has done to the people's house. The East Wing, demolished, gone, rubble. The Rose Garden, completely paved over. It's a patio now. There's that stupid granite helipad going in and getting redone on the South Lawn because apparently the walk to Marine One is too much cardio. Right down the street, the reflecting pool got drained, coated in American flag blue, but ended up looking more like the color of a gas station icy that's been sitting in the machine since Memorial Day. Of course, he's put his name all over stuff like the Kennedy Center that had to come down. And are the tarps even down yet, by the way? I don't even know. Donald Trump is like a landlord scraping a bad tenant sticker off their mailbox. But the centerpiece of this entire demolition derby is that 90,000 square foot monstrosity, the 400 million, 600 million, whatever it's going to cost, ballroom. And finally, it got stopped again by a federal appeals court on Friday. 2-1, the DC Circuit upheld the injunction that's been sitting on this thing for a couple of months. If you remember the original order, it came from Judge Richard Leon, the George W. Bush appointee, a guy who the Republicans put on the bench. Quote, whether or not a massive ballroom should be constructed is for Congress to decide and not a matter for executive self-help. Executive self-help. I really love that terminology of this Trumpian makeover of our once great nation. And look, the reason that these judges had to write that down, that phrase down, is the argument that Donald Trump's own Justice Department has been making in open court with a straight face. Their position has been that tearing down the East Wing left the president vulnerable to attack. And the fix for that is that giant ballroom. But who tore down the East Wing to begin with? I don't know. And you know what? I think we need something here that will help. You remember those Biden I did that gas station stickers? We need one of those for Trump, but billboard sized at every entrance to Washington, D.C. I did that. I made that mess. But really, my biggest question is, where do we go from here? The White House looks like crap. Ideally, a court will order and enforce the East Wing to be rebuilt as it was, brick by brick, paid for out of the billions of dollars that the Trump family's businesses have raked in. What do you guys think? Who should decide what to do with this massive hole in the ground that Donald Trump caused? And I also want to remind everyone that the price tag has doubled or more than doubled since he announced it. And Trump didn't see that as a problem, though. Remember, he bragged, posting that it was approximately twice the size and a far higher quality than the original proposal. And he promised it will be, quote, magnificent, safe, and secure. Of course, all of the important things about this ballroom, to Trump at least, are underground. Because Trump has stopped referring to this as a ballroom. And he and his lawyers are now calling it a military center. Quote, the single integrated project includes bomb shelters, state-of-the-art hospital and medical facilities, protective partitioning, top secret military facilities, structures and equipment, protective missile-resistant steel, columns, roofs and beams, drone-proof ceilings and roofs, military-grade venting, and bullet, ballistic, and blast-proof glass. It's the type of building you build if you're planning on throwing a hell of a party. And I've said this before, a building like this doesn't sound like the type of thing being built by a man that intends to leave office when he's required to. It sounds more like a no patriots or constitutionalists allowed clubhouse, built to satisfy a single human and his family. And Donald Trump also decided to remind everyone that his wonderful ballroom/hideout is, quote, a gift from President Trump and great patriots of the United States of America. The entire complex, military and all, is largely built, fabricated, and paid for. Though internal government documents show that taxpayers will be on the hook for around $307 million. But now, fortunately, the ruling All of the rulings, frankly, are on hold for 14 days so that Donald Trump's lawyers can sprint to the Supreme Court. And I'm worried because given how that court has been handling their duties to oversee executive power, I'm not going to sit here and promise you that this finding will hold. Because right now, it looks like Donald Trump might end up swaying the Supreme Court to do whatever the hell he wants them to do. But on the record, a federal appeals court has finally told the president he does not get to skip Congress because he wants this ballroom and secure bunker underground. And that's why I'm going to ask you guys to subscribe, because I promise you that this is not the last time we are going to have to do a construction update on this building or the man who can't be trusted to live in that building.